Weather Center. Clear skies through the remainder of the day. Your overnight low won't be too bad tonight. We're only getting down around 50 degrees. Wednesday's going to be another beautiful day out there. Sunny skies, and that afternoon high is going to be up near 78 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Todd Starnes here. Stay on top of the local elections by listening to WSIC. Great folks like Senator Vicki Sawyer, Representative Jeff McNeely, and join me for national election coverage weekdays noon to 3 on WSIC.
Okay. We are here. We are live. You are listening to the Scoreboard. WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. Video live to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. Our website, WSICnews.com. Where aren't we streaming? Honestly, that's what you need to ask yourself, because we are streaming everywhere. And the other question you need to ask yourself is, why aren't you listening to us everywhere? You should be. 704-873-1400 is the phone number if you'd like to call in. Do you have something sports related you'd like to talk about? Well, we could talk about it right here today. Call in 704-873-1400. We've been talking pretty much every Monday and Friday for the first segment of the show about the football playoffs going on in high school this year. We have some teams still remaining, some schools still looking to move forward. Statesville still alive in the playoffs, as well as Mooresville. But we haven't really talked too much about the soccer playoffs that are going on. And I know, it's not the most popular sport in the world, but we got to at least shout these teams out, shout out these schools and these student athletes for doing their thing, going to school, going deep into the playoffs, because there is some local teams that have been doing pretty good. The only one that's still around and playing right now is North Iredell. The North Iredell Raiders soccer team is going to be playing on the 9th. That is Thursday. And it's the game to get them into the Final Four. So I guess it's round 4. So you call it round 4. There's 6 rounds in the playoffs. So they're in the 4th round. They're playing Enka. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not very familiar with Enka. But the Enka Jets is their mascot. They are. Let's see. Where are they located? They're in somewhere in North Carolina. I know. I had it pulled up, but it's not here right now. Anyway, North Iredell still playing soccer. They're in the playoffs. They have a chance to go far. And here's the thing. They had an okay season. It wasn't the most amazing thing ever. They started the year with 5 consecutive losses. 0-5 to start the year for North Iredell. The 5th one, a 7-1 loss against Lake Norman. And then after that, they won 3 in a row, and they started rolling, ending the season 15-10, making the playoffs. Not nearly backing their way into the playoffs, but they did end up making the playoffs as a 16 seed. So they beat a 15 seed 1-0 in round 1. They beat the 31 seed, who had upset the 2 seed, 5-2. A win against South Point, who's the 7 seed, 2-0, 2-0, if you will, in soccer. And now they have a chance to go to the Final Four of the state championship. So we will continue to track that. Like I said, that game taking place on Thursday, so we have some time, but we want to make sure we shout these schools and these players out. That's really the only other team in the area that's still playing. We had some teams in the playoffs, some schools making it at least into the dance. Mooresville was in. Lake Norman went kind of deep. They lost a couple of days ago to Hickory Ridge, 2-0. Lake Norman as an 11 seed in the playoffs. Huff High School was in there, and in a little bit of a lower division, we had Pine Lake in there, Community School of Davidson. So, teams all over. They were making the playoffs, but nobody in the local area really making a deep run, except for North Iredell. So we'll continue to talk about North Iredell. Their football season didn't end well, but man, their soccer season, it's kind of a run for the money right here. They're playing with house money, going 15-10 in the regular season and making it all this way in the playoffs. But as a reminder, we do have high school football playoffs coming up on Friday. Mooresville High School, they will be at home again. On Friday, they take on Mount Tabor, that game at 7 o'clock. And the Statesville Greyhounds, after a pretty decent regular season, they won their first playoff game by a score of 28-27. Whew, that's a close one. And they now go on the road to take on Crest, that one at 7:30. Previewing that one, it should be a pretty good game. Crest hasn't lost a game yet this year. They are 11-0 on the year. They've scored 550 points and only allowed 198 compared to Statesville, who's scored 333 and allowed 204. So slight mismatch here. It is going to be tough because, one seed taking on a lower division team. It's not going to be an easy one. Crest is the number 1 seed in the 3A West region. So we'll see what Statesville's able to do. Mooresville, on the other hand, well, they went into the playoffs as the 3 seed. So they have a little bit of an easier path. I'm not going to say that it is easy because it most certainly isn't. But their first game was against a 30 seed who did take them to overtime. And now they're playing the 19 seed Mount Tabor. There's your high school sports update for the day. Go ahead and support all your local high schools. And those student athletes, man, they go through a lot. I know that much. Going through school and practice and games, and now you have playoffs on top of all that. So support all those local high schools, and we'll continue to cover them as they move through the playoffs. And, well, we're going to be getting into winter sports here soon, so we'll make sure to cover those when they start up. Got a couple of minutes before the break here, but yesterday I said I wanted to continue talking about the NASCAR Cup Series Championship, so that is something that I do have on tap for us to talk about later, probably in the next segment. I haven't really decided exactly when, but makes sense to do that early since, that race happened on Sunday. Also, we do have finalists for the 2023 Baseball Writers of America, Association of America, Hall of Fame Awards, year-end awards. That's a lot to say in one sentence, to be honest with you. The Baseball Writers Association of America yearly awards. There we go. Did better that time. We'll talk about the finalists in the American and National League for Cy Young, MVP, Rookie of the Year, Manager of the Year, all that fun stuff. Make sure that we cover everything. We're heading to that break. When we come back, we're going to talk NASCAR, and we're going to talk about the end of the season, really get a debrief in because we got a little bit of time before we get to Daytona in February. So stay tuned. You're listening to The Scoreboard here on WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. We're back after this.
More of The Scoreboard with Joe Berg is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Santa's coming to town. Come out to Birkdale Village from 2 to 7 p.m. next Saturday, the 18th. Activity Row, Birkdale on Ice, Beer Garden, dance performances, and the tree lighting parade. Dance away the end of the night with live music. Saturday, November 18th. The fun begins at 2 p.m. and the tree lighting ceremony starts at 6. For more info, visit birkdalevillage.com. Love bingo? $1 bingos this Friday starting at 1:30 at the Iredale Senior Center. That's at 344 East Front Street. Bring $1 and your own snacks to play. $1 bingo this Friday, 1:30 to 3:30, Iredale Senior Center. Ever wanted to witness a time capsule installation? Huntersville is having a special time capsule installation December 2nd at Veterans Park during their Huntersville Christmas celebration. I wonder what will be in the time capsule. Make plans to attend now. Visit huntersville.org for more info. December 2nd, a special time capsule installation in Huntersville. Singer-songwriter Mitch Rossell is coming to Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. You may know Mitch from America's Got Talent or from Garth Brooks' 2022 Stadium Tour. Buy your tickets before they sell out. kanearts.org. Country music artist Mitch Rossell this Saturday. Doors open at 7 p.m. kanearts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Save your dates. Don't miss the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Clear skies through the remainder of the day. Your overnight low won't be too bad tonight. We're only getting down around 50 degrees. Wednesday's going to be another beautiful day out there. Sunny skies and that afternoon high is going to be up near 78 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Black Powder Coffee is celebrating their 10th anniversary with a medium dark roast blend of Indonesian and South American coffee beans. Enjoy the full-bodied natural flavor notes of chocolate with a bright finish. Get Black Powder Coffee's new anniversary blend today at Black Powder Coffee, 261 Rolling Hill Road, Mooresville, or participating retailers everywhere. Black Powder Coffee.
Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's The Scoreboard on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Okay, we are back here on The Scoreboard. WSIC 105.9 100.7 FM. Call in 704-873-1400. Let's get into this because I know it's still kind of old news, but we do want to wrap up the 2023 NASCAR season. We have to at least do a proper debrief. And yesterday we saved NASCAR to the very end of the show. I want to get this out of the way early and get to other things that are a little bit more current and you should know about. So as you probably know, Ryan Blaney is your 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. I like it. I like Blaney. I got no problem with Blaney. So Blaney wins his first championship, and it's Roger Penske's second in a row. If you remember, Joey Logano won the championship last year. Here's what Blaney has to say about winning back-to-back championships for his boss, Roger Penske.
Well, I've been saying all week, it's not often you get a chance to do something for Mr. Penske that he hasn't done before. I mean, because he's done everything in motorsports, and when we had a chance to go back-to-back on the Cup side with him, I mean, we couldn't pass up that opportunity. So everyone worked really hard to make it happen, and just so proud of the effort. But, yeah, awesome to deliver it.
And Roger Penske himself was pretty excited, obviously. I would be surprised if he wasn't excited. But here's his reaction immediately following the race.
Well, I'm just so thrilled, for Ryan and the whole team. Menards, the Ford engine was strong as hell today. Thank you, Roush Yates. But to all the fans and everybody that's rooted for our team for the years to get 2 in a row, Joey and the whole team, we're just thrilled, and great for Blaney, but great for Team Penske.
So Roger Penske gets his second consecutive championship. Last time that happened in the Cup Series, well, it actually wasn't that long ago. It was right before this Penske back-to-back run. We had a Rick Hendrick Motorsport back-to-back. Kyle Larson and then Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott in 2020 and then Kyle Larson. It was actually Elliott first. Then the next year when Larson came back to NASCAR, he got his championship. So that was the last time we had a back-to-back. And then even before that, it was Hendrick again. There's been a lot of Hendrick back-to-backs, I can tell you that much. It's way too early to be talking about this, but let's have some fun. The way too early 2023 NASCAR Championship betting odds. The favorite going into the 2024 season. I need a drum roll. It's not Ryan Blaney. What? He just won the championship. I know. Doesn't make sense. I don't know how the odds makers do it. But it's actually Kyle Larson at 5-1 is currently the favorite to win the 2020. So in a year from now, we will be debriefing and saying how terrible the early 1 year in advanced odds are to win. Wouldn't it be crazy? Because I need to look this up now that I'm thinking about it. I want to know what the 2023 way too early odds were. Was Chase Elliott high on that list? He didn't win a single race this year. Now, I'm not saying it's likely that that's going to happen to Kyle Larson, but come on. It's a little early to be putting these odds out. Blaney was pretty emotional, actually, after he won this championship. I don't know if you watched the race or listened, but he did mention he's usually not, number one, an emotional person, and number two, he doesn't do burnouts because somebody asked him one time if a horse jockey beats his horse after they win, which I don't think is anywhere near the same thing because, burnouts are cool. Beating a horse, not very cool. But here's Blaney on his emotions right after that championship win.
Yeah, just a little shock. Not shock, but just it's hard to have it set in quite yet. Just amazing day. Didn't start off very good, but we got better throughout the day. And second half of the race, we were super strong. So appreciate everybody for working on it. We had to make up a little bit of ground that last restart, but our car was good enough to do it and have a good battle with the 5, and was able to sneak it out.
He sounded as emotional as I'll ever hear him because he like he says, he's not a guy that usually shows very much emotion. But there is your 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. It's Ryan Blaney. Now let's get into the off-season conversation because we're not going to be talking about NASCAR all that much in the coming weeks. I'm curious what NASCAR does about the Truck Series because apparently NASCAR is going to review the Truck Series race post-Phoenix. I don't know what they're going to be reviewing. Is there going to be a new format? Are they just going to look at the race and say what went wrong, what could have been better? I don't know. It was disgusting. It was a terrible race. It didn't look like a race. It looked more like a demolition derby out there. But I want to know if they're actually going to make any changes to the Cup Series. We know that there's going to be tweaks. They're going to tweak the car here and there for safety, maybe take another 10 horsepower out of it just because that's what they want to do. It seems to make them happy nowadays. But is there going to be a change, a tweak to the championship, please? More specifically, if you get suspended for your in-race actions during the regular season, this is one that I'm big on because in the rules, and I gotta back this up a little bit and give you a little bit of background because in the rules it says in order to be eligible for the championship, You have to participate in every single race, which prevents somebody from winning the Daytona 500 and then going on a 6-month break and saying, yeah, I'll wait. I'll be back when the playoffs start. Can't do that, obviously. But if you get suspended for your on-track actions, you should not be able to apply for a waiver. And we saw this year. Chase Elliott was suspended for wrecking Denny Hamlin in a very, very dangerous way. We saw last year Bubba Wallace was suspended for a race. Now, this was in the playoffs, so it was a little bit different. He wasn't even a playoff driver at the time. I digress. There should not be a way for a driver who, I don't even want to say attempts to harm, because it didn't, I doubt he tried to hurt the guy, but like he turned him right. He right rear hooked him into the fence at a high-speed track, right where the quad oval juts out. And it was a hard hit, and Hamlin was hurt, and we saw NASCAR's reaction. They suspended him for a race. Hamlin called him out all on social media. That driver should not be allowed to be eligible for the playoffs. You got suspended. It's your own fault that you got suspended. And now, because of that, you're not going to make every race in the regular season. Bye. But, I mean, how is this hard? The only reason that NASCAR should be granting waivers is for injury in a race. If you get hurt in a crash in a race, then you should be eligible for a waiver, because that's something you can't really control. But wrecking a guy on purpose and getting suspended, that's something you can control. Number two, that was number one. I got a list here. There's nothing on the list. If you're looking, there's nothing on the list, but I got a list here. Number two, why do we have to have 16 cars in the playoffs? Why do we have to have an elimination, funnel them down type system? It causes too much chaos. It really does. Because you see Martinsville. I mean, you thought Phoenix was bad. Just go back and look at Martinsville and look at the end of the Xfinity race. That wasn't a race either. They were just wrecking into each other, turning each other, cars on fire in reverse, trying to cross the finish line to get 1 point to move on. What? How is this racing? If you want to have a playoff system, fine. Do a playoff system. But what you should do is go back to the old chase format, because it was the most entertaining. I know every so often you're going to have somebody run away with it, and it's really not going to be much of a competition. Fine. That's just the business of racing. It happens. It's not like other sports where you play another team and then you can make a bracket and bracket those teams to play each other till we get to a championship. It's not that. You race against playoff guys and non-playoff guys. You can't go head-to-head unless NASCAR wants to really throw the system on its head and say, 16 drivers, everybody's going to be paired up with one other person. Whoever has the most points at the end of 3 races moves on. And I think that's even worse than anything they've tried to do. Number 3. Stages. And I've talked about this before. We should not be throwing cautions at stage breaks. It's time to get rid of that. You did it for entertainment reasons. Don't lie. It's not for points. It's not for the new point system. It's for entertainment reasons. Because you want to re-rack the field and get a restart. Because restarts are always crazy. I'm out of time in this segment. We got to move on from NASCAR. I could list 5 other things that I think NASCAR needs to change before they get into next year. But we're going to hold off on that. We got an entire offseason to fill time with random NASCAR talk if we need to. When we come back, MLB awards season, we'll name the finalists. We'll let you know who can win these awards. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. You'll be back here on the Scoreboard.
There's more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts. It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 9th through 19th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Naughty or nice, explore a nautical-inspired entrance filled with coastal Christmas charm. Plus, shop hundreds of booths to find one-of-a-kind gifts for everyone on your list. Buy tickets early and save at southernChristmasShow.com. Online tickets courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Clear skies through the remainder of the day. Your overnight low won't be too bad tonight. We're only getting down around 50 degrees. Wednesday's going to be another beautiful day out there. Sunny skies, and that afternoon high is going to be up near 78 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
In life, we plan for many important things. Weddings, our children's education, retirement. A celebration of life is really no different. Planning and paying for your life celebration in advance will give you and your family valuable peace of mind. We'll help you take care of every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're Lynn Honeycutt Funeral Home. Find us at DignityMemorial.com.
Hello, friends. This is Dwight with Gullion's Christian Supply and Homeschool Headquarters, inviting you to join the Gullion family and staff in praising the Lord for 30 years of providing you with trustworthy and inspiring books, Bibles, music, gifts, and supplies. We so appreciate your support and friendship over all these years. With locations in King and Statesville, North Carolina, visit us again soon for encouraging fellowship and essential provisions for your Christian life. Gullion's Christian Supply and Homeschool Headquarters, where the Bible stands.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Why are central banks quietly amassing mountains of gold? Because they know the dollar won't last. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to diversify your IRA or 401k into physical gold with Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, get a free info kit on gold by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit now.
A reemergence from Miles Sanders. I'm Anish Shroff with this Panthers update.
As the official ticket marketplace of the Carolina Panthers and the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game. Whether you're cheering on the Panthers at home or away, Ticketmaster has you covered. With Ticketmaster's interactive seat map, you'll get a 360-degree preview of your seat so you can make sure you have the best view of those pivotal plays. Plus, the Ticketmaster app makes it easy to sell or transfer tickets if your plans change, and mobile tickets make getting in on game day a breeze. Find tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Panthers.
Carolina brought in free agent running back Miles Sanders to be an every down back, but Sanders has seen his playing time diminish, and that's been hard to digest.
I can't really say I got humbled or anything because I'm always humble, and that's how I carry myself, but it's one of those, I've been through adversity throughout my whole football career, from college to the NFL. This is definitely a bump in the road, but at the end of the day, I'm happy for Chuba and Raheem. You know, they're getting more playing time and they're balling out. Because I'm trying to switch it over to them because I really don't. Who cares about me? Honestly, these last few weeks been tough for me, but honestly, there's a lot of stuff that I got to get right in. You know, as far as like my energy and effort, just gotta keep going day by day and keep doing what they brought me here to do. So and. I was happy to, give the offense a spark in the second half, and they were able to use me a little bit more. But we came up short, and that's all that matters. So we just got to keep going to work, and we got a quick turnaround on Thursday night.
Sanders finished with 6 carries for 39 yards. He also caught 3 passes for 22 yards. This is 1 week after only getting 2 carries in a win against Houston. I'm Anish Shroff with this Panthers update, brought to you by Morris Jenkins.
Now, more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Okay, we are back here on the Scoreboard. Halfway through today, it's Tuesday, and it's it's November, but it's hot outside. I don't get it. It shouldn't be almost 80 degrees outside. It's almost Thanksgiving. What is going on? At least the sun's already down. I told you guys when the show first started that I couldn't wait for this time of the year. Not only does it get cold, which is much better than the heat, but also the sun goes down at like 5:30. It's good. I like sundown early. I don't like when it's 9 o'clock at night and it's still bright outside. That's not okay. I'm trying to wind down my day and go to bed soon, and it's bright out. No. We're not going to talk about that, though. I don't know. It's not worth talking about. What we are going to talk about is baseball. This time of the year does stink, though, because there is no baseball. I know Justin Kazepis, he's very happy he doesn't have to talk to me about baseball anymore. I wish we could talk baseball, but we can't. So we're gonna talk this little bit of baseball left that we have, because we gotta squeeze everything out of it that we can. We're gonna get to high school baseball soon, and we'll make sure that we'll cover that. But we have our finalists for the 2023 Baseball Writers Association of America. We got Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, MVP, Manager of the Year. So let's get to it. Let's start off with the National League Most Valuable Player Award. 3 nominees for each award. Here we go. Ronald Acuna Jr. for the Braves, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, both from the Dodgers. They had incredible years, all 3 of them. I don't know how you choose from one of those 3s, but if I had to choose, I would vote for Ronald Acuna. He had a great season, record-breaking season, batting over 300. He is the first, no player had ever hit 40 home runs and stolen 50 bases in a season before this last MLB season. Well, Acuna didn't do that. He did hit 40, but he stole 70 bases. He broke 3 records in one. My vote would go to Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Braves. Here's your American League Most Valuable Player Award nominees: Shohei Ohtani of the Angels, Corey Seager of the Rangers, and Marcus Semien, also of the Rangers. It's a tough one. It really is. Because Corey Seager, I feel like he was more impactful during the playoffs. Now, he did bat .317 or .327 on the year. So it's not like he was terrible during the regular season, but he really shined during the playoffs. I don't know if we can give Shohei Ohtani the crown because he was shut down for a while. Now, he did have an incredible season. He hit 44 home runs, and he only played 135 games. That's something incredible to begin with. But I just don't know if we're going to have enough time played, enough stats there to crown Ohtani the champion. If I had to choose, this is a tough one. It's probably tough. I think this one's tougher than the National League because I don't really think that Betts or Freeman is going to win that. It has to be Acuna. I got to give it to Corey Seager. He had a great regular season. It's close, though, all 3 of them. And I'm really at this point choosing between Seager and Semien just because I don't think that Shohei should get it. He didn't play long enough. But I'd say give it to Corey Seager. The National League Cy Young Award finalists. From the Diamondbacks, Zach Gallen. He went 17-9 on the year. 210 innings pitched with a 1.12 whip and a 3.47 ERA. Blake Snell, 14-9 for the Padres this year. 2.25 ERA, 180 innings pitched, and a 1.19 whip. And then Logan Webb of the Giants. All right, this is one where you look at it and you say, what? 11-3? But he threw a complete game in his final start of the season. He had 33 starts, 216 innings pitched, and 62.7% ground ball rate and a 3.6% walk rate, the lowest in the NL and MLB by a significant margin. Not quite Jacob deGrom-esque, where if you think of Jacob deGrom, you say, man, he was great on the Mets, like legendarily great on the Mets, but his team was terrible. This isn't that situation. I think we got to give it to Zach Gallen here. Not only did his team make the playoffs, they went to the World Series. He won 17-9. That's a pretty good record. And, well, I do like that he pitched over 200 innings. I got to be honest about that. Moving on to the American League, Cy Young Award finalists, Garrett Cole with the Yankees, Kevin Gausman with the Blue Jays, and Sonny Gray with the Twins. All right, this one I'm going to run through real quick because I don't think it's that much of a competition. Sonny Gray went 8-8 on the year, 2.79 ERA, under 200 innings pitched, and a 9 K per 9 rating. Pretty good. Kevin Gausman, 12-9, ERA over 3, under 200 innings pitched. It's got to be Garrett Cole. I mean, this one seems pretty easy. I know the Yankees didn't have a great year, but Garrett Cole was the ace for the Yankees, and he was a true ace. He went 15-4 with a 2.63 ERA, 209 innings pitched, and a 9.6 K per 9 rating. That's pretty good. I say we got to give that one to Garrett Cole. Moving on to the National League Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year Award, Corbin Carroll for the Diamondbacks is a nominee. So is James Outman, and I knew I was going to choke on this one when I got to it. I even wrote it out. Kodai Senga for the Mets, the starting pitcher. Senga was out of Japan. He had a 2.98 ERA, over 166 and a third innings, which was, pretty good for a rookie. He's just the third rookie in the wild card era to finish with a sub-300 ERA and 200 strikeouts. So if you don't know who that is, he was a pretty good rookie pitcher for the Mets. But I got to give this one to Corbin Carroll. 25 homers and 54 stolen bases. He is the first 20-50 campaign by a rookie in MLB history. The American League Rookie of the Year, Tanner Bibby, Tristan Casas, and Gunnar Henderson running through this one. Henderson's the number one prospect in baseball. He lived up to the hype, 28 homers, 66 extra bases, and he played 150 games. I'm going to have to give it to Henderson just for that. So that is your player awards. We don't really have time to go through the manager of the year, but we're just going to read them out real quick. National League, Craig Counsell, who is no longer with the Brewers. He's with the Cubs now. Skip Schumacher for the Marlins and Brian Snicker for the Braves. Bruce Bochy for the Rangers, Kevin Cash for the Rays, and Brandon Hyde for the Orioles. The American League's harder because you want to give it to Bruce Bochy for his postseason record and how good he did, but I might say Brandon Hayes gets the edge on that one, or Brandon Hyde gets the edge on that one, just because it's the Orioles. They won over 100 games. It was a great turnaround. All right, we sped through the end of that. We ran out of time, but I wanted to end that segment because when we come back, we have some MLB or some NFL news that we need to talk about. We'll also start previewing the Panthers game on Thursday. So stay tuned here on the Scoreboard, WSIC. We're back after this.
There's more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Santa's coming to town. Come out to Birkdale Village from 2 to 7 p.m. next Saturday, the 18th. Activity Row, Birkdale on Ice, Beer Garden, dance performances, and the tree lighting parade. Dance away the end of the night with live music. Saturday, November 18th. The fun begins at 2 p.m. and the tree lighting ceremony starts at 6. For more info, visit birkdalevillage.com. Love bingo? $1 bingos this Friday starting at 1:30 at the Iredale Senior Center. That's at 344 East Front Street. Bring $1 and your own snacks to play. $1 bingo this Friday, 1:30 to 3:30, Iredale Senior Center. Ever wanted to witness a time capsule installation? Huntersville is having a special time capsule installation December 2nd at Veterans Park during their Huntersville Christmas celebration. I wonder what will be in the time capsule. Make plans to attend now. Visit huntersville.org for more info. December 2nd, a special time capsule installation in Huntersville. Singer-songwriter Mitch Russell is coming to Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. You may know Mitch from America's Got Talent or from Garth Brooks' 2022 Stadium Tour. Buy your tickets before they sell out. kanearts.org. Country music artist Mitch Russell this Saturday. Doors open at 7 p.m. kanearts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Clear skies through the remainder of the day. Your overnight low won't be too bad tonight. We're only getting down around 50 degrees. Wednesday's going to be another beautiful day out there. Sunny skies and that afternoon high is going to be up near 78 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Hi, this is Andy with Lake Mountain Coffee, located at 110 West Broad Street in Statesville. Many of you probably know us from our large coffee house downtown, but did you know we're also the owners of Statesville's first and only coffee roasting facility? We purchase coffee beans from around the world, bring them right here to Statesville, roast them in our facility for our customers around the region. Why would you go to a grocery store, purchase old coffee beans off the shelf, or any other source where you can have fresh roasted beans at Lake Mountain Coffee, 131 West Broad Street in Statesville?
It's the Scoreboard with your host, Sports Director Joe Berg, on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Okay. Scoreboard. WSIC 704-873-1400. That's the phone number. That's the show you're listening to on the station that we're airing on. We got one more segment here today. I want to end it with the NFL, but I know I'm always teasing things and it's not nice. I apologize, but I don't really apologize. I want to update us on the Carolina Hurricanes because, you know, the NHL season's going on. And then I also want to get an update on your Charlotte Hornets, who seem to be very bad yet again. Anyway, starting with the NHL and the National Hockey League, Carolina Hurricanes off to a 7-5 start on the year. Good enough for third place in the Metro currently. They are 3 points behind the New York Rangers, who are 8-2-1 to start the year. For that top spot in the Metro. And the Metro is going to be competitive. I've talked about that in the preseason, at the very beginning of the season, and we're going to talk about it for the entirety of the NHL season. The Pittsburgh Penguins are 4-6 to start the year. It's not a good start, but do we expect for them to stay that way for the rest of the year? Well, if you watched anything in hockey over the past decade, you're going to say no. They're going to turn it around. Eventually, they're going to figure it out. They always do. And they got a new GM over there, so, things are looking a little bit different, but the goal is still the same. Get Crosby and Malkin that final cup. And in front of that, the Blue Jackets, who are still rebuilding, the Flyers, who are still rebuilding, Capitals, who are trying desperately to stay relevant, Islanders, Devils, and Rangers. Those are the teams that are in the Metro that Carolina's got to compete with. It's a good start to the season. It's not an excellent start to the season, but it is a good start to the season, which, is better than having a bad start to the season and trying to make up for it at the end. I always say, get off to that fast start and give yourself a little bit of wiggle room because it's a long season, 82 games, but we'll continue to check in with the Hurricanes until then. Moving on to the NBA, Charlotte Hornets are 2-4 to start the year. That's just how it is right now. The weird thing is, for the in-season tournament, they haven't played their in-season tournament game yet. I know. They're 0-0, last place for the in-season tournament. I don't know if this is going to mean anything. I really don't. It's confusing to me. I don't know if I like it or not. I guess we got to go through an entire season with the in-season tournament to see if it means anything. Call me up, 704-873-1400. Do you like this? Is the in-season tournament going to give you any kind of interest in the NBA? Because that is why they're doing this. They're trying to get some kind of regular season interest going in the NBA, but there isn't any. So I don't know. But 2-4 start to the year. Terrible. I don't know if the Hornets are going to do anything this year. Sad. New owner. Might take a little bit of time still. Probably looking at another lottery pick in the draft. But we are used to it by now. I don't know. This is not a basketball town. I don't believe so. The Hornets just haven't been good. All right. Let's talk Panthers. Actually, before we talk Panthers, we are in the NFL, so there you go. We made it to the NFL. You made it to the football part of the segment. Yay! Some updates. Number one, Kyler Murray of the Cardinals has been activated to the 53-man roster. He is in line to start his next game. Breaking news, the Dallas Cowboys are signing newly reinstated wide receiver Martavius Bryant to a contract. He last played for the Raiders in 2018, had 17 touchdowns, and he has 2,100 receiving yards in his 44 career games. So the Cowboys desperately trying to get some more weapons for that team because we didn't really talk about it, but the Cowboys and the Eagles played over the weekend. It was a pretty decent game. Eagles ended up coming away with that one after stopping a last-minute drive by the Cowboys by a final score of 28-23. So the Cowboys, they're trying. They're not great, but they are trying, and you have to give them credit for that. I know, we everybody likes to clown the Cowboys. Okay. I've been thinking about this Panthers season. Here is the upcoming schedule for the Panthers. It's not pretty. You got the Bears on Thursday night. The good news is the big thumbs up that you get for that is it's the Bears. The big thumbs down, it's on Thursday Night Football. I can just see how excited Al Michaels is looking at that schedule. Man, he's probably thinking, I get to go to Chicago and watch the Panthers play the Bears? What a look. I left Sunday Night Football for this. I know. I'm being a little mean, I think. I gotta tone it down a little bit. But the Bears coming up on Thursday, and then you have the Cowboys, the Titans, Buccaneers, Saints division games, Falcons, 3 division games in a row, Packers, Jaguars, Bucks. All those teams are better than them, except for the Bears. The Bears are the only team, in my opinion, who are worse than the Panthers right now. And where do we go from here if we're the Panthers? I got to sit down for this, and we got to have a serious discussion about this because it's been a pretty abysmal season. We've had moments where Bryce Young looks like he is that dude, and we've had moments where, like last week, he doesn't look like he should be out there. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to give you the truth of the complexity of the situation that the Panthers are in. Because the defense is actually playing really good this year. I don't think anybody expected them to be this good, but they are really good. Problem is the offense is so bad that they can't match what the defense is doing, which is why we're sitting in this 1-7 hole. We know that this is a known thing now. It's been said in not as many words that the owner, Tepper, wanted Bryce Young to be the quarterback. Frank Reich, the head coach of the team, the guy who's got to lead the troops into battle, has not quite said he didn't want him, but we know he didn't want Bryce Young. He wanted C.J. Stroud. Stroud's having a great year and looking like the real deal. If Bryce Young doesn't show improvement for the rest of the year, and this is a very big possibility, what do they do? Where do they look for weapons, for help, free agency? Is this owner going to spend money? We really don't know yet because we haven't had a season where we can say, okay, Tepper is the owner. Here's the direction of the team. Do we even know what the direction of the team is right now? They got a rookie quarterback. They got no weapons on offense. Adam Thielen is a great wide receiver. He is very good. But he's 33 years old. He's not going to be around forever. And if the Panthers had their number 1 overall pick this year, I would suggest, hey, maybe an early draft pick used on Marvin Harrison Jr., the wide receiver who's been lighting it up in college. Problem is, we traded away that draft pick to the Bears for Bryce Young. So we don't even have the first round pick. You got Brian Burns not under contract for next year. You didn't trade him at the deadline. If Brian Burns walks and it comes out that somebody offered you 2 first-round picks for that man, whew. And it really depends. I really feel like Thursday's game is going to have a spotlight on it because not obviously it's going to be Thursday night football. It's going to be the only football game on. But we're going to talk about the directions of 2 teams and where they go in the future. The Bears had a chance to take C.J. Stroud. They had a chance to take Bryce Young. They traded back. They stuck with Justin Fields, and Justin Fields is not the guy that we thought he was. Now, the Bears find themselves in the same situation. Not good. Owning the Panthers' first-round pick, which I can't stress enough how bad that is. And then you have the Panthers. Got their quarterback. They don't have their draft picks, but they got their quarterback. They have a head coach who probably doesn't want that quarterback. They have an owner who's got his hands in the pot, stirring things around when he should just be watching it simmer. Where do we go from here, and what does next year look like? Are we going to try to compete next year, or are we throwing away another year and try to get weapons and get help and get an offensive line for Bryce Young? I don't know. It's going to be another wasted year. Getting the offensive line and getting the weapons is something you need to do. Here's the secret. You have to do it before you draft the quarterback because you only have a certain amount of time with him on that rookie contract. Look at the 49ers. Great team. They got Brock Purdy making nothing, less than $1 million on the payroll. And that team is amazing, and they keep building, and they keep getting more and more weapons. Why? Because they're winning when their quarterback is not on the big contract. Panthers aren't going to get there. Bryce Young's contract's going to be due before he gets that good. Before the team gets that good. We're out of time. I went way too long. See you tomorrow on the Scoreboard. Have a good one, everyone.